Hey, sweet magical love. Today is a little chat about momentum and magnetism, which are so key in manifestation and materialization. And it's so key because the universe actually really likes to work at the speed of light. Cosmos loves to work at the speed of light because cosmos is pure energy, pure source energy. And pure source energy is like, let's move, let's make things happen, let's do this, right? So a lot of times what's happening is we don't understand the mechanics of our aura, the mechanics of our energy field, the mechanics of who we truly are. And if you've ever dived into human design or gene keys, that is a wonderful doorway into beginning to understand, the map of your unique energy field. So we're not going to go into that specific, but we are going to begin to talk about what are some daily maintenance things that you can tune into to support you in momentum and magnetism. So when you're moving forward in life, you're wanting to move forward in a specific direction. There's something that you want to create. There's something that you want to vibe into your reality, magnetize into your reality. And that thing gets magnetized by the tiniest little thoughts, by the tiniest emotions that are generated in your body, by the actions that you take, right? So every little thing that you're doing all throughout the day, even when you think that no one's watching, even when you think the thing that you are thinking about, feeling about doesn't matter, like all those things are actually creating an energetic momentum. So when you begin to increase your level of love to the space where you're in love with the moment, you're in love with the divine in every single moment. So in every single moment, you're creating this beautiful story between you and the moment and saying, this is adding up, this is working. Like, I'm having an incredible experience right now. Gratitude. Thank you, universe. Thank you for this beautiful experience. Even when your emotions may not be feeling great, maybe something just triggered you, or something that made you, maybe even you read a book or you watched a movie or you looked through an old journal and it made you feel something, or you had a conversation with someone and it ignited these feelings inside of you. Some people say they don't know what triggered it, so just in case, that it just means there's a whole alchemy of emotions that comes up from something that happened in your day-to-day. So if that happens, if that it gets ignited in you, keep moving forward anyways. Keep deciding, okay, everything that's getting brought up right now is actually leading me forward, taking me to that next step. Even if it feels not so great, it's like, okay, thank you, universe. Thank you for clearing out, detangling the old karma and giving me space to move forward into this new direction, this space that I want to go to. Right? So when the energetics of you moving where you want to move to becomes faster, that means you set an intention first, and then eventually you're cleaning up your thoughts, you're cleaning up your emotions, you're aligning your actions to all move into that direction. Because when you move, the energy moves, universe moves, people move. There's an orchestration that begins to happen. You lead and the universe follows. The universe is hearing your soul song, hearing your magic, and moving with you. And that's what creates momentum. So, anytime you're creating anything, it begins with a dream seed. And that dream seed, it needs to be loved, it needs to be nurtured and nourished. And sometimes it's like you're maybe a little bit off, and you destroy the thought, and you're like, oh shoot, that's not what I meant. Let's come back to it. Let's tend to it. Let's love on it. Let's create like beautiful cushions of sparkles around it. So it starts out in the dream seed, and then you have more thoughts, and then you have more emotions, and then you have more actions taken towards the creation of that thing. But the entire time that you're creating, it's all up to you to love up on it. And you may have people around you that say, hey, that's not gonna work, or you're not doing it right, or you're doing it wrong, or you should do it like this instead. And sometimes that's gonna be good advice, and then other times it's really more just, you just gotta stay strong with it. You gotta stay committed to the thing that you're creating, because that's your energy, baby, right? It's the thing that you're creating. So as you begin to lead the energy and you say, hey, I'm gonna do this, I'm deciding and I'm committing and I'm moving forward with this magnetism begins to happen. This magnetism has to happen in a way, because the universe is always answering your every call, your every creation, everything that you want, right? So when you have the thought, and when the energetics align, you're gonna start to feel this kind of like pull where everything in the universe is reorchestrating itself to create that thing that you want. And this usually feels really good in the body. So the more that you can really start to awaken like those good feeling sensations, like, oh yeah, like when you do yoga you feel good, or when you meditate it feels good, or when you journal it feels good, or when you're like having a green smoothie or eating really, really healthy, you're like, oh, actually, like this makes me feel good. You know, like the type of good where it's like healthy, like you can feel your energy clean, you can feel your energy clear, like that type of like healthy feeling, not necessarily like that instant gratification of like a sugar high or any of that. I really mean more of this like wholesome feeling of you're like, oh my gosh, I just did something really great for my body, like I can feel that this is good for me. So the more that you are creating that energetic momentum, because one, you're creating more energetic escrow, you have more energy capacity in your system, the universe also feels that, and it gets pulled towards you, because it's almost like this this avalanche that begins to happen, because everything has been like, oh, let's create this, let's create this, let's create this, and then boom. There's also sort of a teleportation effect that happens. I'll try to break it down in this example. So a lot of times when I'm manifesting my way out of traffic, I'll begin to visualize myself already in my house. You know, and it's much easier to do something like that because there's not as many other people involved. Yes, there's people driving in traffic, but you know, when you're manifesting something like that, it's just you and the universe. So there's so many times, and I've also, a lot of my students have told me, they're like, oh my gosh, the GPS said it was going to take me 45 minutes to get home, and I got home in 15 minutes. So this happens for my students all the time. So so basically it's like, because you visualize yourself in a new point, in a new space in the universe, in the hologram of the universe is like, oh, so much momentum is there, I have to bring this physical item to that space, right? So that becomes really fun, where you're just like, okay, and this is where a lot of people, you know, talk about it already is, right? It already is. That's that teleportation effect. When you begin to feel, okay, this already is happening, I'm already clear, I'm already here, I'm already feeling that, and you anchor in that feeling, you decide everything is moving in that direction. This is happening, right? We are moving here, this is happening, we're moving towards this direction. Then the universe hears all these signals and is like, oh, well, let's make that happen. And it's like, right? And then it brings you to that point. And so that's where that magnetism is, that's where that momentum is. And yeah, so this is a topic I could talk about for so long. I love it so much. But let's give you one tangible thing that you can take away here, like a tangible tip to feel into. So if you are wanting to create more momentum and magnetism, think about the thing that you want. Write it down. Think about the thing that you want. Let's just say you want your first $100,000 month. Let's just say that's the thing that you want. Write that thing down, and then write out all the excuses that your brain has given you. It's going to take a long time. There's no way that could happen. How is that going to happen? Does that mean I'm going to have to work extra hard? Does that mean that, you know, like I won't have any vacation time anymore? I'm only going to be working now, you know, like write out all the excuses that your brain has given you on why you can't have this thing. And then begin to cross it out and really start to observe and see, actually, you know, so-and-so made $100,000 this month, you know, and maybe it's not someone you know yet, but you can Google and find them, right? Or you can find them on Instagram or be in a Facebook group where you observe that. And then you begin to see, well, if that person can, and if that person is made of the same energy material as you, then maybe you can too. Or you can also begin to see, well, if $100,000 is made of the same energetic material as you, then of course you should be able to have $100,000, you know. So you kind of relax the brain by breaking down all the excuses and the blocks and the reasons why your brain said you can't have the thing, right? And then you open up the imagination and you're like, you know, I could have that, you know, it could come in this way. And it doesn't mean that it's going to come in that way, but by you playing with all the scenarios and the possibilities, how it could possibly come in, that relaxes the brain and says, oh, okay, let me just relax this. It's not my job, right? The importance of that is this. When the brain relaxes, then your bliss chemistry can be turned on again. Because when the bliss chemistry is turned on, you're feeling, oh my gosh, I'm making $100,000 this month. Oh my gosh, it's so exciting. That's so exciting. Those tiny little neurotransmitters being received by the neurons creates like a new pathway. There's a new energy field that's emitted from your brain out into the universe that says, hey, this is happening. And if you have those blocks, then you're blocking that bliss chemistry from happening. You're blocking that bliss chemistry from being available for you, right? Because, and then if you're blocking that, then the tiny micro signals that you're sending out to the universe are not in alignment with the thing that you want. You're saying, I can't, it's not possible. So then the universe is hearing the signals of, I can't, it's not possible, right? But because the universe it's not even really the thoughts, right? It's really more like the chemistry, the aura, the frequencies that are being emitted out. So you really want to take time to weed out those thoughts so that the brain can relax, so that your Anandamaya Kosha, this like bliss chemistry, the bliss body, can actually activate and turn on those signals and emit that right frequency so that you're actually attracting the things that you want. Yay, thank you so much for tuning in. I am Samantha Blossom, your business oracle. If you have any energetic tune-ups in your money world, in your body world, in your business world, I am your person, and I would love to chat with you more about this. This is one of my favorite topics, momentum and magnetism. So if you have any fun questions, please feel free to drop it into the comments, and I hope to see you super soon.